Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, we're getting very close to the point where the little game that we are making, I say little, it's taken a couple of months. But in the scheme of things, I think I spent about 48 hours total on it. What we've got is a battle card game, and I'm getting very close. So excited, very close to the point where we're going to call the gameplay prototype done. We have a little more work to do on the battle of the battle card game, but there's been some good progress off stream in terms of the user interface that we've been working on. The user interface that we've been working on includes two views that we want to focus on. The first view is this. This is the battle view. We're going to look down on a table, like straight down, as cards approach each other from the left and right side, player one, player two, and they go to battle. We'll come back to that, but the view we've been working on the most lately is this view, where between those battles, the general, each player, has to set up the cards they're going to place on the table and go into battle. They have cards in their hand, they can look at them, and they can take them and put them on the table. So, yeah, making sure that it's in the right lane, or you're inspecting it and taking it back, making sure it's in the right attack order is part of what makes up the formation the formation. You can see the cards on the other side of the table. Now, this is all random at this point. For us, technically player two, we're going to go up against player one and we can see their cards, and that we don't know which cards there are, but we do know their formation. And so we are tactically thinking about the cards that we might play, like this one, and we're putting it on the table. Now, you just saw me push the other card. You see it switch places. This keeps the order, how do I say this? This keeps the attack order limited to one card. A card can occupy an attack order, but no two cards can have the same attack order. This prevents that. This mechanism switches it when it gets to the edge. It also pushes it when it's when I'm trying to move it up, but there's a card already there. It pushes the card away when it can and switches when it can't. So we were working on this part, and long story short, I got it done, which is good. I did go back and forth on a couple of things. It's probably best I did it off stream because I needed to think, but also it was rather dull and dry to look at. The idea that I can take a card and put it on the table, and when I do, it looks at the other cards that are on the table. The other cards actually know if they are blocked from moving up or not. Because if they aren't, and I'm trying to move them up, it just moves up. Oops, let's try it again. Um, there. If I try to move it up, it just moves up because there was an empty space there. So the cards know whether they're blocked or not in both lane and order. So I can kind of push it around. You can see the flashing, glowing yellow one is the one that I've actually got my mouse cursor on. And I can push it around, and then once it gets to the edge, it switches, and this happens in order as well as in lane. So it's, and I can be pretty rough with this. This took a little while to figure out all the issues that could happen. And I still have debug warning logs. The logs to this console include, standard just information, which is nothing big. It's nothing big at all. But if Unity runs into a problem, like I tried to shift this outside of the size of an array, or I was trying to access outside of an array, this would be a Unity error. It would be red and angry and but I put in my own warnings to help me understand when there is a problem detected. And so I would love to make sure that my code is bulletproof, and in that way, me putting in the warning, detect the problem before it happens and show the warning here in the console as a little warning sign, little yellow warning sign. That helps me understand where the problems were. Well, long story short, I hadn't seen the warnings. I got it to a point just a few minutes ago, frankly, where it feels pretty robust. So, TLDR, I think we are done with the user interface portion of our gameplay prototype, which is good, because I'd like to focus on this. Here in the battle view, attacking all the way across the battlefield like that is something I want to disallow. And I've been trying to explain why I think that's important from a gameplay perspective, but it sounds absolutely counterintuitive. And that's the reason I've been having the difficulty explaining why I think this is necessary. It sounds counterintuitive to say, let's limit what the player can do. Let's limit what their card can do in battle to other cards. And that sounds counterintuitive, doesn't it? Well, I think I understand how to explain this now. Just like you would never want, I'm going to just noodle around with this user interface while we talk. Just like you would never want to play Dungeons and Dragons and give the player infinite ability. I'm going to give them a sword of plus 70,000. I'm going to give them teleportation instant and never ending. No limitations at all. I'm going to give them clairvoyance, and I'm going to give them, just omnipotence. Here, player, be a god. What I've done at that moment is I've shifted the role of being a dungeon master over to the player. The player just now is telling me what they do and telling me what happens in the entire world. Yeah. So, as a designer, it's not counterintuitive to say that's game breaking. That would break the game. I don't even want to give them a plus 70,000 sword, because then attacking means nothing. They're just simply deciding to kill the opponent because the sword is so powerful. Okay, so that extreme example should help to explain this. It is to the player's advantage to provide a limitation to what they can do. The player then is challenged, and that's the advantage. They are challenged to now make choices based on the meaning of that limitation. Not to get too conceptual, but let's game this out. If I could throw all the cards up front, why wouldn't I? I'm going to use my cards up in battle early. They're going to meet in battle early, and given that it'll meet some card on the other side, these cards will turn over, and other cards will also meet their card in battle as early as possible. It begins to have no meaning. So attack order even has a reason for there being a discrete and unique position for every card, which is what I'm demonstrating with this interface now. I've been talking about this for a while, that this shiftables mechanism is going to help us describe why I think this is tactically important to provide the player formations and to limit what they can do with those formations. Like, you can't just have all the cards in the back, can't have all the cards in the front. Well, now we're about to do stuff with the battle, having to do with the lanes and why the lanes are important. We were just in battle, and I showed you that attacking across several lanes from one card to another shouldn't be allowed. This is related to the formation because the player is going to decide which lane my card will be in. It can't be in multiple lanes, and it cannot be, it can only be in one lane, and that lane will be meaningful, more meaningful, if it's now limited. If I could, for example, line up all the cards in one lane, that would be weird. In terms of how battle might work, I mean, I'm reminded of Star Wars Sand People. Obi-Wan Kenobi says, Sand People march in single file to hide their numbers. I get it. I don't want to get distracted. The point is, I found a really good example of why this is going to matter to the player. Limiting their choice in lane is going to mean something when I decide, and Doom Garden is a great card for its health, but its speed is crap. I kind of want it to be by itself over here. What I mean by that is, once we implement this next thing we're about to do, where I prevent cards from attacking all the way across lanes, now there is a time when a card is in battle, and more specifically, there are specific cards that they are in battle with. I mean, in a sense, it's all the same battle, but who they can attack is now limited, which means it has an implicit meaning. If I have a card on the edge, there's really only two cards that can attack me. The card that is in my lane, or the card that is next to us in this lane. This is as opposed to the cards here in the middle, which can be attacked by 3, not 2. Aha. As we go from 3 cards to 4 cards to 5 cards in rounds 1, 2, and 3, respectively, this now changes so that there are 2 cards that are on the edge, and then and 2 cards that are, 1 card that's in the middle. Here in round 2, there are 2 cards in the middle. In round 3, there are 3 cards in the middle. So your choice of which cards to play is now going to be going to have to factor in how vulnerable that card is to how many other cards in the formation of the opponent. This is going to, we've already seen formations that cause a pause in the battle. In fact, I'll make one right here, because I know that I'm going to meet in battle here first, and then there's going to be a pause because these cards are too far apart. I can plan for that. I can plan for this card having more time with its opponent by itself. That's a tactical choice. Likewise, I can make a tactical choice about the placement of this card such that even though it might be a card the other opponent wants to attack, and it definitely did, all its cards wanted to attack that, but only 2 could if we implement that rule. So while I've been talking about this, it's been very difficult to describe why I have this strong feeling this is going to be important for our combat game. Now, I think I can demonstrate why. And in fact, we're so close, we're going to try and implement some of it today. This is, of course, I'm kind of just ignoring the marching orders. This is just another rule that we're going to play with later. It's all leading to a gameplay prototype where we can play with the rules, turn them on and off, because all the mechanics are already implemented. And thereby find the right combination of rules that make this game the most interesting, the most replayable, the most memorable, the most fun, whatever you want to call it. Um, we are close. We're very close. But let's go ahead and do this actually. We'll do most speed and get rid of those. No, I'm going to do get rid of cards fast by saying least health. Meanwhile, I'm going to bash the heck out of this and try to get an error or warning to pop up. Whether I drag it on or drag it off. I'm trying to make this very robust. So at this stage of testing, now that I've methodically found some errors and detected them and fixed them, I still have my warnings in place. My debug stuff is still in place, but I'm not seeing any errors at all. Cool. Okay, let's finish this battle. I'm going to go over real quickly how the shiftable stuff was implemented, because it is the same code. Oh, I didn't mean to mirror this formation so closely, but I did. There's an extra issue about the distance between cards and whether it knows to flip them over or not. This is effectively it's one number that I want to play with. I'll do that when we get into the battle. Okay, so they won. Um, all right, let's get serious now. I'm going to Is this easy to see all the code when my avatar's on screen? Not really. Just widen it a little bit. What we wanted to do was make this extra feature on the user interface easier to develop and maintain. And at this stage, this script is only meant to handle that table view, that mode of the interface. And yet it's pretty big. This is just the function I was working on. But most of the code is actually happening here. Every frame I'm dealing with where the mouse is and placing the cards. So really, to make this simpler, I said, well, I know this is where I want to shift other cards, and so I will just do it here. This reduces where all problems could be. I'm not messing with any other code much. And instead, it just calls this function at that point. So now I know there's just one place where my problems could be, and that's a good thing. Yesterday, I had problems in multiple places, and my primary goal was to get them all inside this function, get all the problems here so that I could ignore the rest effectively. Let's imagine I have a problem and it's somewhere in here. Well, that's too much, but if I can reduce it to like there, then I know it's a little easier to find the problem. That's the idea. Okay, so to shift all of the cards around, what I'm actually shifting are these containers for the cards that are on the table, these cursors. You saw it as a blinking yellow square or a purple square that was just sitting there holding other cards. In essence, there is one card that I'm grabbing and moving. The rest of them have to accommodate whatever I'm doing. That's the rule. And that means I need to know what other cards are there and what's going on. So I'm actually looking at each lane, and I'm also looking at each order. I'm doing both because I may actually shift in both directions at the same time. It's effectively 2 dimensions of shifting, one for lane and one for order. And they might both happen, but I mean, I'm just doing the same mechanism on 2 dimensions, that's all. So the mechanism kind of works like this. I need to know the cards that are on the table. And I am holding in this data here which lane it's in and which order it's in. So some of these, the cursors that are already on the table know where they are. I also want to know, is the card that I'm moving around actually impacting any other card? If not, I'm just going to ignore it. But if so, I need to know which card is actually being impacted. In other words, I'm in the same lane or I'm in the same order as a different card. Which card? The moving card is going to be there for sure. This other one needs to move. So I initialize both the lanes and the order to just make sure that it's absolutely clear. This is me developing and being so careful that I want to know what's up. And later I actually debug all of the data so I can follow it. This is going to clean up, obviously, when I refactor, but while I'm developing, I'm being extremely careful. All of the data knows which lane and which order it's in. So I am grabbing that value. And as long as it is a valid number, an invalid number would be the default initialized data. But otherwise, it's going to be like 0, 1, 2, 3. And so I'm going to record what that is. And I also want to know, hey, wait, is this the one that's being impacted? So I check, is this the moving index? And if it is not equal to the moving index, and this particular card is in the same lane as the one that is moving, then yeah, this is the impacted one. So I want to remember what that is. Same for the order. If it's impacting the order, I want to know which one it is. The moving card can only be impacting one other card at any given time. It may, however, be impacting it in 2 different directions, so lane and order might both need to move. So now I need to determine what I'm calling the blockages, because as cards sit in the lanes, they might be blocked from moving up by themselves. Sorry, how do I say this? There might be a free space next to them, either in lane or in order. If that space is free, then they are not blocked from just moving. So I do clear it all out, again, being extremely careful. I mean, this is overdone at being careful, but as long as this cursor is actually on the table, if not continue, but then determine those blockages, right? If I'm on the edge, or if the one next to me is not open, it's being filled, like the lane or the order is filled with another card, then it is blocked. Otherwise, it's not. So every card, or every cursor, I should say, knows how open it is to and free it is to move up or down in lane or in order. Okay, so all this data is now known and stored on each cursor, which is good to know. In fact, I'm doing this every time, which is, again, a bit overdone, but who cares? I'm going to refactor this anyway. At some point, I was really concerned about moving cards from off the table onto the table, which is effectively teleporting it into a lane or an order. And that's fine, except I don't know what, quote, direction the moving cursor is moving if it was never on the shiftable space at all to begin with. It's just suddenly there. So there's not technically moving up or down. Well, long story short, I don't care. I'm just going to decide it's moving up because the default value is -1. I look where it was, and I look where it is now, and I just decide it's going up then. Or not, it's going down, because if the current space is less than where it was, then it's moving down. So I just decide it's moving up or down, and it turns out I probably won't need this at all. I'll clean this up. Okay, so now I don't care if it's not impacting another card. I mentioned that before, and so I only care if it is impacting, in this case, the lane. Then I need to determine if I should shift or if I should switch. And the difference is, if this other card I'm impacting is actually up against the edge or something, then it should switch because there's no shifting any further. It can't go any further. So instead it should switch, change places, because it's on the edge. At the moment I'm doing this evaluation, there is a card on top of another card. That's what this impacting is indicating. And the other card, the impacted card, needs to either switch or shift. And that's what I'm determining here. I'm seeing, should you shift? And at first I say no, and I look for a empty space, because if I find one, yes, you can shift to, you can move in that direction and fill that space. Otherwise, no, you are going to have to switch. So if I'm going up and I'm ascending in lanes, then I just have to go one direction. Otherwise, I'm descending and I need to go the other direction. That it's from the point where the moving index is up to the edge or down to the edge, either way. But in both cases, I'm really just looking for an open space. In other words, the lane indicates that it is initialized or empty. If that's true, then yeah, we can shift there. And that is the place we can fill. That's the open index. That is the index of the lane that is open. And we are going to fill it. I needed to remember where that open space was. I'll show that later. But break just says I don't need to look any further. I just found the open index I need, and I'm done. So at that point, I've determined if I can shift, and I say no until I can find an open space, in which I say yes. If I don't find an open space, then I cannot shift. But if I can, what I'm doing, and this is some of the language I'm probably going to get rid of soon, because this is all me very carefully tracking what I'm doing and printing it back out to the console so I can be assured that it's doing what it needs to. There was a long time where it wasn't, and this information is helping me figure it out. But if I can shift, I'm shifting in the lane, I'm going ascending. If I'm ascending, then I need to start at, I need to look at all the potential cursors. Again, this is probably overdone, but it's fine. Looking at all the cursors. If it's off the table, I don't care. And in fact, I'm wondering if I should break right here and stop looking, because if I found one, the rest of them should be off the table as well. I'm pretty sure that's true. But I need to review that. Again, I'm being very careful. If I can shift in the lane in the ascending order, I start from that point. I look at all of the cursors, as long as it's not off the table. And as long as it's not this moving index, because this is actually asserting itself, the moving index card is going to stay there for sure. It's the other ones that need to shift. As long as this cursor that I'm currently looking at is not the one that is moving, I might shift it. I need to know, as long as it is, as long as this cursor is in a lane that is more than or equal to, that's the impacting card, the one that is moving. In other words, all the cards that are at this location in the lane or more need to shift. But also, I need to make sure that the lane that I'm looking at is less than that open index that I found. If it's equal to the open index, then this is good because I'm trying to fill that open space. There's a lane that's open. I found it already. And so I'm really pushing all the cards up in to fill that space. After that, I don't care. After that, I actually want to stop. This is causing an issue. I was pushing cards all the way off the table. So I actually needed to find where that open space was and fill it. So this does not do any more if I've found the open space. So it needs to know, is it less than the open index? And if that's true, I'm going to shift. This is totally unnecessary now because this was me trying to find the problems and I was running into problems. I was shifting it off the table. But I don't run into this warning anymore. So that's good. Otherwise, move that card. Move that cursor one lane over, positive, ascending. And then, again, I'm being very careful and telling myself what it just did so I can keep track of it and make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to do. So if I can shift and I'm ascending, go and make sure that the cards that are equal to or more than this card in lane and less than the open index, that it should shift up. Likewise, if I'm going down, look at all the cards, and if it is not the moving index, it is less than or equal to the current card in the lane, and it is more than the open space, then yeah, shift it, but move it down. Again, this is probably totally unnecessary now. I should clean that up. But this is all to say shift. Should I shift? Yes, shift. But if not, if I should not shift, then I'm switching. And this is code that I originally had to just switch, which is nothing more than saying as long as you're not on the edge, change places. Make that other impacted card switch places with me, and that's it. Me being the moving card. So it's just those two cards that move at that point, and that's it. They're either moving down or up. That happens in lane, and it also happens in order the exact same way. So now, at this point, the data is properly shifted around, and only the data. This array right now has references to every cursor, and each cursor knows its order and knows its lane. That's good, and I actually, again, I don't need this anymore. This is me confirming what the data of lanes in order actually said. But what I realized is, you know what? I'm going to have to move the cards at some point. I should just put this at the bottom of this function. So after all of the data is correct, just make the card cursors and cards fit the data. So in other words, I could focus on the data and I don't have to worry about the cards. I just do the card and cursor stuff once, because this is quite messy. This actually mirrors exactly what I do when I'm looking at the position of the mouse and deciding if you're in lane 1 or 2 or 3 and rounding it down, and it's in world space or local space. I mean, it's just a mess. So doing it once and getting it right, that's a smart move. In this case, I look through all the cards that are on the table. And if this is a cursor that is off the table, I don't care. Otherwise, I mean, I actually make sure all the cursors are placed off the table unless they are meaningful. This is an empty card, but otherwise it's meaningful and I need to put it on the table. And so I find a lane by saying start at this point, figure out which, according to the data, each cursor has a lane that it is in. So go ahead and use this to figure out the X position of it. this left and right. The Y position is always the same. It's on the table surface. And the Z is the depth. It's the order of it. So I take the order in lane and use that to find the actual position and set each cursor to that position. So deal with the color. Just make it flash. I also move the card. Yeah, here it is. The card. Yeah. So I make the, sorry. I make the cursor flash. That's what this is. Make it yellow, but then change the opacity of it based on time. Time that blinks really fast, so it goes up and down. That's what sine wave does. But bounce, actually, that's what absolute value is going to do to that. And do it really fast. That's multiplying time times 8. And then apply that color. Basically, if this is the moving index, make it that blinking yellow. Otherwise, make it the standard cursor color, which is this purple. Okay, but this says, oh yeah, every cursor has a card on it. It's relatively simple to just adjust the position and set that card location as well. So this is one function that very handily deals with all the shifting that I was sure I needed and was eager to get to. And I believe now it is good. I believe now I can really bash at this thing and I will never see another warning, and I also won't see the problem. So I can't drag on another card. I can cleanly drag these off either by dragging to the left or the right or up or down. If it's on, I can drag it down. I can drag it to the left or I can drag it up. This is also keeping it unique for every lane and every attack order. There's only one card. I can change my mind. I can move it around. And as I do this, it is shifting and switching, shifting and switching, switching and shifting and switching. Yes. So this is nice. That mechanism for the user interface is something I'm very sure is going to be more intuitive than any other set of rules for the user interface. So I'm eager to test it, but I'm pretty sure that is going to make the most sense. If somebody is pretty lazily taking a card and throwing it onto the table, they're quite likely to impact the lane or the attack order of another card, right? And when they do, this mechanism is handling it. So I can take a card and throw it there, and it's just handling it. Notice it's just assuming that they are ascending because it's coming from a -1. So yeah, it knows. But I am placing the card in a particular position, and as I do, the other cards are moving around. I can really, really bash at this thing. And at this stage, like I said, the way that now that I've very carefully found the issues and I'm seeing better results and no errors, I'm now really looking to see if I can cause an error, if I can make an error happen. How can I break this, right? If I can, I want to be able to detect it. I want to fix it. I definitely don't want my player to find it. So it's important that I bash at this and really try and make it, if I can. I'm failing at making an error out. So good. Until I find problems with it, I'm going to call that good, and we can focus now on the battle. The issue is this. Cards are approaching each other, and they only attack each other when they are close enough to flip over. Once they have flipped over, that's an indication that the system is putting them in the battle. But being in battle is really just a binary thing. They're either not in battle or they are. Once they are, all cards are in battle. In other words, deciding who you're going to attack is among all the opponents that are also in battle. I can't attack the ones that aren't in battle yet, but right now it's a binary thing. And any card that is turned over is fair game. So now this card might actually attack all the way across the battlefield just like it did. So that is something I want to detect and disallow. I have a strong feeling it's going to be a simple distance between these cards. No big deal. Just like I am doing a simple distance to flip this over. And by the way, yeah, like I mentioned, I need to adjust that number. But that is next, because if that's true, it should limit what cards can attack what other cards. It will cause a change to the mechanic, the mechanism, the rule that I currently have. Obviously, the cards that this generator overload could attack include 2. Okay. This is simply because both these cards are turned over. But what I need to change is the mechanism that disallows its potential target, like this card, because it is too far over. I actually want to make it discrete about lanes, so I don't know if distance is exactly what I want. But I can easily just say the distance in terms of its position in Y, I believe. Where are we? Generator overload this guy. The position in Y, because that's this green arrow here. This other card has a different position. So I want to compare the axis that goes laterally across lanes. And I'm only going to, so in other words, counter Shiv is fair game, not because it's this close, not because it's this close in distance, but because the distance between this and the lane that it is in is small. I think that's going to be smart to do that. So that's next. This would mean while Counter Shiv is happy to attack all the cards that were in battle, Unending Swarm would not be able to attack all the way across, and neither would Immovable Object. Could we just stop for a second and look at that? That would mean that player 1 might be thinking ahead about their tactics in this formation and realize, hold on, my awesome card can't attack all the cards. So maybe I should switch and make this the awesome card in the middle. Let's see. I am gonna need to get coffee pretty soon. But I'm really happy about this. Hey, we should probably just clean this up now. I've been bashing at it for a while now, and I'm feeling pretty confident about it. I was very careful about it, so I'm okay. Yeah. Roar. Make it break this thing. Break it. I can't break it. Notice when I drag off, the do play disappears. That's by design. Yeah, this is bulletproof at this point. I'm happy to say this is bulletproof. I'm seeing no warnings. If I did, it would pop up there. Tempted to cause a warning just to show. But I think this is good. Okay, and with that, I am going to take a very, very brief coffee break um, because I can, because I should, because I will, because yes. Um, I'll be right back. Yes, I'm very happy about also having coffee. I mean, coffee and wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Cold pizza. Yes, yes, yes. I'm so excited. I can run around and give. Yeah, woo, yeah. Not just coffee, but cold pizza as well. Gotta love it. How much? Run around so much. It's so funny. Wow, you wow. It's so fun. It's so pizza. Yeah. 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 I've been playing around with my avatar too. Yes. Showing off. Yes. Shall we continue? Yeah. I'm gonna clean up the I'm gonna clean up this code uh, basically so that the changes I make I can use the console again. This is just full of information that I don't need anymore, or I don't need now. I hopefully won't need it anymore. And all that information is coming from here. I will properly remove this later. I definitely want to keep that warning there just in case. I mean, it is totally unnecessary at this point, but I may keep it around longer. I'll come back and remove these commented outlines of code. I definitely don't need this anymore. This is notes for me, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's good. Let me just play really quick to make sure that I have cleaned up the console and I have nothing but the battle comments. I do have comments like beginning round one and which cards died and stuff. Those debug lines are there, yes. So when a card gets taken out, this battle logging is still taking place, which is fine. I'm really just looking to make sure that my logging for this mechanism is all done. Whoa. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. So let's go ahead and return now to the other script. This is, I mean, there's more than two scripts that go on in any game. You don't want to write too much code in one script for just the idea that you want to maintain it. Exactly the reason why I made a function just for this shifting, separate and easier to maintain was the goal. Let's return to the script that's mainly handling this view, the one that's handling the battle. Oh, I did it again. I mirrored the formation. Man, I keep doing that subconsciously. I wonder what's going on with that. I'm just interested in the psychology of it. Really. Okay, but I'm pretty confident this is actually just doing the logging from the battle and not from the other ones, so I think we're good. I mentioned I wanted to deal with the distance between the cards here. That determines whether or not they should turn over. I think I can find that real quick. Isaac? No way, really? I'm sorry. Distracted by doing my own thing. Hey, thank you. Welcome. Hi. Hello. I appreciate that you followed. I noticed that. I do appreciate it. Hey, I'm making a card game. Thank you for stopping by. I really appreciate that. That's really cool. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, I guess this is a more exciting time than usual. I've been doing code that deals with this interface for a while. This interface here to put cards on a table in our battle card game. You notice we have silly names for our cards. This looks like junk and all that. I'm really just getting the rules of the game to work right now, and we're going to make it look pretty later. But there's one last thing I need to do before I make it look pretty, and that's what we're talking about today. Making it pretty, making it sound like something, making it look like something, putting on a menu. This is all trivial stuff that I don't I don't mind to say it's relatively easy compared to all this. But all the unknown questions that I've had about how would you set up the cards that you want to go into battle and how do they perform in battle, that's what we're doing here. This last part I'm doing is, like this card just demonstrated the issue I'm going to tackle today. You can put your cards on the table in a formation against another opponent. This last thing I want to do is prevent a card from attacking all the way across the battlefield, across a lane. It shouldn't do that. And that'll make the formation a little more meaningful. And I think it's one of the last things I want to do. So you're watching development of a card game. Fun, yeah? We have some interesting things about this card game that I won't go into, but well, long story short, I've been having fun with it. So nice that you stopped by. I think I've been doing this for a couple of months now, but really only spending, I guess, a total of 48 hours on this game. Really? Because I don't spend much more than an hour or two a week, or a few hours a week, whatever. But what I expect is over the next month or so, we'll be working on making this look prettier. These play school colors and stuff are going to go away. Even the names of the cards are probably going to have to change, but they're silly for right now. But yeah, power, defense, speed, health, and luck. That's what each card has on their thing, and obviously there's no pretty pictures on them yet, but you get the idea. You're going to pick some cards, put them on the table, and they'll go up against other cards, and there we go. Fun. I saw that other people were online and streaming, and I was like, man, should I stream or should I go watch other people? 3 cards versus 3 cards in the first round. We're in round 2 now, and it's the best of 3 rounds. So I'm trying to win by winning this one. It's 3 cards, then 4 cards, then 5 cards. Every time I get 5 more cards in my hand, so I have more to choose from. But part of the strategy is which cards am I going to hold back, that kind of thing. Yeah. I think deciding which card you're going to play is half of your tactics and your choice. The other half is going to be this formation. That's what we've been working on for a few weeks now. And so now that that's kind of done, and I'm like, yay, I can focus on this view now where I'm going to work on that one rule. Because I think it's really going to matter. The formation plus disallowing a card from attacking across a lane like that, I think is really going to make this mean more. We're going to test all this. And yeah, we're having fun. Okay, so now it's tied. We're going to go into round 3. It's overtime. There's 5 cards. And I got 5 more cards, which means I have 8 now. So yeah, now you get it. As I'm placing these cards on the table, the thing we just got working was this shifting around of cards. And I do need to make this cursor a little more obvious which one is moving. It's blinking right now, but I'm sorry, it's just not enough. And I need to move this camera back. It's a little hard to see, but I'm totally just throwing cards down to demonstrate. Anyway, yeah. So overtime, whoever wins this is going to win the game. I can also choose if my cards can attack an if they're given a choice, like right now there's no choice here, but if there is more than one card that's flipped over, this card could choose, for example, the one with the most power or the least health or something like that. That's what these marching orders are. I have a feeling that's another choice the player might want to make. We're going to play with these rules when this is after this next step is done. I'm going to play with rules, turning them on and off, and finding the best combination of rules to make the most fun game. That's the plan. Well, I can't I can't let this go without showing off a little bit. I also did this animated avatar in a game engine, and of course I can't get around doing this without some tricks like being able to dodge, or you know, if I'm not dodging, I can like run around, vroom, vroom, vroom. You know, if I'm gonna do both animation and game stuff, and this avatar is made in a game engine, I'm gonna play with it. So yeah, might lurk. You're welcome to lurk if you want to lurk. Or I could do tricks. I think tricks. Yes. Yes. Anyway, it's fun. Yeah. Thank you for stopping by and for hanging out on this lonely stream. You don't have to, although we have fun music and jungle sounds. I'm going to stream for about another hour unless I'm convinced otherwise, and I'm going to try and do this code and make this thing work, and then I'm probably going to see you on the Nemesis stream or something. Cool. Cool. All right then. Yeah. I will return to what I was doing then. So, where was I? Code. I'm doing this code now. Somewhere in the universe. Oh, by the way, I'm doing this whole stream with one monitor, and I'm literally looking at chat on my phone. I'm lucky I saw you, actually. Um, at some point, I'll upgrade. Well, as I was talking about earlier in the stream, I was extremely careful on this last thing I'm doing, and the goal is to always do one step at a time and test as you go. The idea being that if there's a problem, you know where the problem is. It's at that last step you're working on. It's a slow, methodical process. It's not for the impatient, let's say. Anyway, um, lucky I saw you, and I honestly can't just look over and read chat very easily because it's on a tiny little screen and stuff. But I'm glad you came by, and I'm glad that I saw. So yeah, somewhere in this script, this is the script that actually I'm going to close this other one because I don't need it. Somewhere in this script is the part where I decide that I'm close enough to another card, or the cards are close enough to each other that they should be turned over and go into battle. They march towards each other. They flip over. I want to find that spot. I want to adjust the distance because that has been a bit of a problem. And then I'm going to kind of look at the same mechanism, the same number, to deal with this new last thing that we want to fix. Where do I find the target? It's been a while since I've been in this script. I've been in the other one for so long. But here we are looking down on the battle. This is actually doing one skirmish right here. Okay. Somewhere around here, we are finding which cards are in battle, which ones they're not in battle. I don't think this is the function I'm looking for. Advancing cards. Oh, this is where I'm looking for. Okay. I wonder when I invoke this function, but I'm just going to take it on face value. We are moving the cards towards each other. They're on the table. If they have not been flipped up yet, then move them. At some point, we actually flip them. And I wonder if, I don't think that's actually here. I don't think I actually say flip up here. I think I just detect if they are close enough. Here we are. This is it. They're in the same lane because this position Y is equal. So I'm looking at this card and other cards. OC, other cards. Okay. As long as they're in the same lane, I just look at this distance. Okay. This is the number actually I want to adjust. And this is literally saying if it's greater, then move them. So this isn't actually where I want it to be. This is stopping them from moving if it's greater, but it's not the one I'm looking for. I'm looking for the place where they turn over because they are close enough. You know what? That number is going to help me though. That's funny. It's not here. What about flip up? Do I do that here? Okay, where else do I detect what is going on with the flipping of cards? This is definitely adding them to battle because they are flipped up. Okay, that's good. Add to battle. Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in the script. I am actually detecting before they get to that spot because they're about to move closer. That's what's up. Let's just reduce this a tiny bit. It's the only place I do them, right? Oh, player one, player two. Oh, yeah, this all needs to be refactored. This is so ugly. All right. I guess what I'm looking for is that cards flip over a little sooner. Oh, these are actually mirrored. I need to do a different formation to see this. So now I'm trying to cause the problem so that I can see if the solution worked. Oh, I mirrored it again. Gosh darn it. All right. Okay. So, okay, this is the one I actually wanted to flip. It is close enough, is it not? They are. This is 4 units away. This is close enough. So, there's another part of my code that I actually want to fix, but I'm just hacking this for right now. Okay. There's a part where I set the distance between the cards. It's not just the distance between the cards on my side, but it's the distance between the two sides that's causing this issue. And that would be the proper way to fix it. And I'm just not caring about it right now. There we go, please. Yes. Okay. I'm going to keep my eye on that as we do different things, because, see, that should have turned over. Yeah. It's waiting an extra turn to turn over, and it's because of that number. This is really not the way to do this. Hmm. Uh, Hold on. Did that cause more of the problem? I think it did, actually. Hold up. I'm moving this number, but I might be moving it the wrong direction. Why? Do that. Okay, this should have totally changed. Because these two... Yeah, they're 4 units away. Damn it. What am I not getting about this? In the same lane, if the distance between them is less than or equal to... No, this is right. So, literally. I'm going to keep adjusting this until I can be certain about what's happening before I move on. So, okay. Does it think it is in battle? It just hasn't flipped it over? Is that the thing? What am I looking at here? This here is the script that is handling battle. So I want it to show me what it thinks is going on. I need to switch these. Okay. How do I continually mirror the formation? This is so subconscious. It's wild. The psychology of this. I shouldn't be doing that so consistently. Okay. Thanks. Yes. All right. Okay. Who is in battle? Okay, this is not in battle yet. All right. They're absolutely. Yep, 4 units apart. Darn it. That is wild to me. It's really only delaying it by 1 turn, but the problem is they should be turned over that turn and not have to wait another turn. I want that fixed before I move much further. So I need to expose the data. This was at 7 and 7. I need to understand why that isn't doing what I think it is. Auto config battle, this was it. Okay. Yep. That's exactly what I want. And this is literally 1 turn before, 1 battle step before. So this is why it's frustrating, because it seems wrong to be asking it to do more than 4 units. But I'm going to continue to bash at this to find what is going on. Okay. Should just back these up and measure so I can be certain what it is. Should be moving 1.5 units. The time that it moves is this, and that is always set to blah blah blah. There's 1. So it is 1.5 units away from distance that I want. Now there's 2 cards involved. This is why I said 7. Because they're both moving. This is so weird. Why? It can't be this, right? This is going to make them turn over too quickly, right? This number is showing 3 units from the distance I want them to turn over, yes. But they are added to the battle here before they actually move. I actually need to be increasing this number, because if it's less than or equal to this larger number, then it will be added to the battle and turn over. Suddenly, sense makes sense. Yes? Let's test that theory. All right, now. Work properly. Okay. Keep going. Ah, good. Okay. What I was looking for was sort of a half step before they were supposed to meet. So they begin to move to each other, but they stop a little early because they are close enough, which is what they're supposed to do. That's the same. But what's different is before they were prevented from turning over for some reason, and that's what I was upset about. Now, I think they turn over at the right time. So in this formation, these are going to meet first. They're too far away. These should turn over. Yes, good. Okay, so that's actually fixed now. I knew it was going to be something small. I was just going the wrong directions. Yes, good. Okay, good. All right, can I work on the other problem now? Because I think I'm at the very end of this gameplay prototype. Okay, this looks better. He picked most power too. Interesting. Oh yes, I also need to collapse these lanes. That's another part of this thing I want to do. All right. Good. Okay. Yes, good. Okay, good. Okay. Okay. That makes me feel better. So now I need to really work on this. This card should be hanging out all by itself and not able to attack anyone because these cards haven't met in battle yet. This shouldn't actually be able to attack. What does that mean? I need to say, hey, electric dog, you are unable to attack anyone because while you may want to target final bullet, might want to target that card. You just can't. I don't have a mechanism that says don't attack a card in battle, an opponent, but that's what I want to do. There's a condition that says you are prevented. Let's find that condition, shall we? Okay, this is good. Actually, just write myself a note. And I'm okay. I'll figure it out. Okay. Battle. I'm choosing targets. Yes, I choose a target. And I already have a mechanism that says you may not have a target. What is this target? No, that's different target. What's the word I'm looking for? Target index, that's what I'm looking for. Each card can be the attacker, and they have a target index. Get target, that's what I'm looking for. And this could return a value that says you're not attacking anyone. Is that true? Good question. I want to know exactly where that is. This is catching the condition that the target is totally missing. And so I know I do something about this between here and there. Get reference. Target index -1. Okay, so this is true. I do have that. Let's look at battle. Oops, go battle. Get target. I want to say that's going to return a -1 if they are just too far apart. I know I use this too, but just focus on this. Get target, here we go. I'm using the marching order. Okay, that's good. I actually need to choose among the marching order available cards. So I need to limit the cards it chooses, and I'm not at this point. As long as it's in battle. Ignore if it's a defeated card. Oh, I should ignore it if it's out of range. I could do it right there. Oh, yeah. Confirming the indexes. Okay. Yes, ignore if it's a defeated card. Okay, so this is the thing. Found indexes, right. I collect these and then choose from them, and that's the target. Okay, so I don't want to add a number found. I don't want to add an index. Okay. Cool. If it is dead, it's a defeated card or it's out of range. Can I determine if it's out of range from here? This is the card. Do I have the actual position here? I have the card values. I don't know if I actually have the position. This tells me all about the cards, but not where they are. Is that true? Maybe I do have it. Okay, go into battle, please. Let me look. Okay, you are in battle. You are Time Pony. Stop. You are Time Pony. This does relate in some way with, let's see, this data. And this is keeping track. Lightning Toad is the first. No, this was true while it was at the table view. Now it's somewhere else. I don't want to just search for it by name, but I could, right? Time Pony is here. That is actually the object. How do I know that? Cards in play. Time Pony is the first player one card. Actually, it's an index. Do I not have an index? I do. Oh, wait, this knows that this is going to be in battle next turn. Yeah, okay, that's true. Hang on. Oh, pause. Yep. Okay, so, I need to get a hold of the object and determine its distance in terms of what? Y? Yeah, Y. Okay. From here, I know battle has distance. Well, I need to know if it's a neighbor. I guess I'll just do this for now. I'll figure it out. This card, I'm targeting player 1 cards, and I'm looking through them. From the battle, and this is the only data I have, isn't it? Shoot. What do I have? Right. Let's see what we got. The stats. Do I have the card itself? No, I don't. So I need to use the index of this. To look at the player 1 hand. Is that right? No. Player 1 cards to play? No, it's already gone. So this is in between skirmishes, so this thing's already been discarded. But this is the time I need to determine. So these cards are in battle, and my goal is to make sure that only the ones that are close are going to be attacked. I need to prevent. See, this one's going after lowest defense. Yeah, I need to prevent Rocket Dragon from hitting across the field. And I also need to prevent Regen Blood from attacking Rocket Dragon. So, if I am player 2 attacking player 1, and I'm trying to find a target, I am right here. Target player 1 card, go through these things, and based on the index of player 1 cards, that's this, I can see Rocket Dragon is, this is 0, this is 1. The index is 1. And that does relate to the player 1 play cards. Okay, because we haven't defeated it yet, so this is still valid. Okay. Yes. I'm going to confirm this, but I think this is true. P1 play. Oh, battle does not have that data. Uh-oh. Battle doesn't have that data. Shoot. Crap. I don't have that data. Okay. So. I can't get to it. Hold up. It's a public property. I should be able to get to it. Can I do this? Go find the battle script object and get this data. I think so. Look at player one play. Use the same index. Okay. Does this work? Can I actually do this? Hold on. Same index and what am I doing here? This is cards in battle. Yeah, this data is gone. Shoot. Okay, I'm gonna search for it by name then. Screw it. Go find this card. Go find this card. Because this is a silly high wire act I don't need to do. I mean, I should be looking by that name. Go look at card referencers. Okay, I got it. Before I do this, let's find all the card referencers. This is why I did this, isn't it? Yep, this is why I did this. Find all objects of type. Yes. Okay. This is battle P1 card I name. And I'm looking for the card with that name. For each of card referencers in CRS, go find this. Yes. Card, oh, card name. Card. Yes. And this, it's just called, let's see, cards name. Okay. All right. If I found it, then I need to look at the game object. And it's the position Y. In fact, I need to start confirming this before I move too much further. Okay. Oh, don't have print available here. Okay. Okay. Now, the y position has to be less than or equal. The difference has to be less than or equal to 3.5. Oh, I need to find both, of course. Just need the vector. I just need the vector. Ooh. I don't know which card this is. I don't have that data. I need that data. Or else. I'm simply asking find the enemy card to attack, but I'm not asking from where. But I need it. This get target function must include the attacker. Otherwise, I can't do this. It's impossible for me to say which should be attacking which unless I reference both cards. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Right then. The battle is stepping forward in one skirmish at a time. A card is alive. No. Da, 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 da. Okay, this is it's the same condition. Oh, I skipped this altogether. Wow, okay, yeah, I haven't even handled this condition at all yet. Okay. That's true. I forgot. This skips the rest of the skirmish if I've determined there is just one card, which is another case where I don't want you to attack anything. So this hack is garbage. I am redoing this thing because this makes the assumption there are multiple cards in battle to attack each other. Sometimes it's just one target, but at this point, I've already determined there are more than 2 cards flipped over and they're battling. I do or I do not know who the attacker is. I do. Here's the attacker. Okay, good. This is a local variable, is it not? Attack. Attacker. Oh, it is. It's right there. Okay. Oh, but it's battle turn. Oh, do I have this data? Oh, I do. Oh, I know exactly who this is then. Okay, so battle turn, battle turn, turn, turn. Sorry, what? Oh, battle order. Okay. Okay. Battle turn. This is the attacking card by index. So if I grab, let's see, target P1 card is the only way I know if it's P1 or P2. Oof, this is messy, but target P1 card or not. Yeah, this is messy. Battle P2 cards at this index. Okay, that is messy as hell, but I think I got it. And this is the name. Name. Okay, let me just enough. No. Okay. I need to test. It's going to say attacking card is attacking card is electric dog. Indeed, Electric Dog is attacking Ballistic Lion. Okay. So, oops, I think I just broke the animation. Does this work in all cases? If this is true, I should be able to find the distance between cards, which means I should be able to find the condition I need, which means I can do this thing. Can I do it in 10 minutes? No. But let's see. Turn 0. Battle order 3. 3. What's this then? This is not an index of those. What is it? 0, 1, 2, 3. Is that what that is? Oh, yeah. That is it, isn't it? Among all these, Time Pony has the highest speed. Yes, that's true. And then what? 0? Yeah. Shadow Imp has the highest speed after that. Yep. Okay, so this is an index, but it's based on both. So if it is a player 2 card, I actually need to subtract the number of battle player 1 cards. Like messy as hell. Why we test them. Care about that. All right, let's see. P1 card that is attacking is Flash Monkey, and that is true. P2 card that is attacking is Sonic Starling, and that is true. Cool. And the target card, a P1 card, is at Y position 0. Oh, Flash Monkey, where are you? Yep, that's exactly right. Yahoo! So this is good. So now I could just grab this card position. I don't need to actually keep referring to it. This was messy enough, yeah? This card position equals C, game object, transform position. Thank you. Done. And same thing here, please. Thank you. Okay, so whether we are player 1 or player 2, I know this card position, and I can do this. Give me the absolute value of this card's Y position minus this card's. Yeah, this is a distance now. Yes, yes. This now knows the distance between these two. I kind of want to duplicate this, please. Um, Actually, let's just do this whole thing. The distance is more than. Oh, I guess I should say less than or equal to. So it is in range if. And I need to clean all this up. This is garbage. Duplicate this just so I have possibility of testing player 1 or player 2. Yeah, this is the most ugly code. Okay. Among P2 cards. Yeah, let's see if this works. It should tell me if it's in range or not before it attacks. And now I actually need to test with the problem I'm trying to fix, which I guess means making sure the attack formation is across lanes. Don't know if I can make that happen, but I'm going to try. Zero range, that's good. I mean, zero distance, so it's in range, yes. Now, okay. This says target P1 card. Oh, that's in the middle, so it's always going to be in range. But distance of 7. That's not right. Which card was targeted? Player one card. I need to actually give me the names because I am not able to follow. Please tell me what's up. I don't want to end stream in a spot. I mean, because I end working on the thing too. I don't want to end it in a spot that's going to be confusing when I come back. So I kind of want to get to the next logical step and then move on. Okay. Target was generator overload, and the distance is 0, so it's in range, true. Again, in range, true. Now, that's in range. Zombie bears being targeted, position of 0. A lane distance of 3, so it's in range false. Who is attacking? I think I got this right. I really need to get this name, otherwise it's not helpful. Yep. Yep. I just need to be slow and methodical, otherwise I'm going to be sorry. Okay. Yep. Okay, so now I know who it is. And please tell me. Okay. Now do this. Again, I need to sort of try and get a condition where it's going to try and attack all the way across. I think I did it. No, I didn't. Distance of 0, it is totally in range. Okay, now. Okay, so that was Flash Monkey attacking Powder Keg. Here we are. Flash Monkey to target Powder Keg. Oh, I see. I'm actually going through all the cards, and this makes sense. I shouldn't be doing that. But it knows it's not in range. Good. If I were to attack Regen Blood, however, it is in range. Good. Okay. War Unicorn. Should be able to attack all these cards. Distance of 3.5, so the range false? It is in range. Stop. Oh, 1.5, 3.5. What am I doing? There we go. Okay, so I believe I can just say, am I in range? Okay. Oh, okay, let's see. Hold, stop. If it's dead or it is not in range. There we go. Okay. If it is dead or not in range. Continue. Okay, did we just implement this thing? I have cleanup to do on the console, but oh, should I actually play? I should really look at these cards and play. Okay, I'm going to do this one, and then I'm gonna let that one to come in. Okay. Set my marching order too. Okay. This, and then when these other cards engage, do not attack across. Well, it didn't. But I'm not sure that's because it knows not to attack that one, or if it's... Yeah, testing might actually take longer than development at this point. Oh, I think that's working. Because these attacked. That's totally working. Yay, it is not attacking across the battlefield. But they're also not collapsing lanes, so this makes some sense. There's no target. Yep. Okay. I ran out of targets because this thing is too far away from... These are too far away from bad guys. Yep. That makes sense. That makes sense. Okay. I created this error to actually catch this problem. Because if this came up, I wanted to know about it, and I found it. It's good. So, yes, let me clean this up. This is correct. That's the right distance. I should be able to clean this up. This is fine. But I don't need this extra long line anymore. I'll just comment it out for now and I'll clean it up later. That's fine. That's fine. That means I really don't need this name anymore, but that's okay. Okay, so this is great, except in implementing that rule, I now have created a intentional issue, which is there's no target. I can disable this rule for now. That's easy. But I'm disabling it now so that the game runs always playable is the mantra we want to follow. So I disabled that mechanism even though I just tested and made sure it works. So that the game runs. Otherwise, intentionally, I have a bug pop up telling me there's no target, which causes other errors later on. All right, but it's a good place to stop because the mechanic of not being able to attack across lanes is there. I have that. So along with my shiftables, yay. Okay, that's good. But I do want to not only prevent cards from attacking all the way across the lane. Once a lane is cleared, I want the lane to collapse. And if there happens to be a card sitting way over here and it just is out of range, tough luck. I want it to just sit there. And I haven't accounted for that yet, so I'll need to do that. Otherwise, this game works, which is good. Those are, I suppose, a couple details related to this mechanic that I just did. And I can do that next time. Huzzah! So, yeah, that's a good place to stop. I will re-enable that rule working, so it cannot do that. It just did. But to do that, I'm going to have to allow cards to just sit there and not have a target. It's not terrible. I'm also going to need to physically move these cards closer together when a lane is totally clear. Shifting all of the cards in as lanes collapse. That's an interesting wrinkle I haven't played with yet, but that would make these two cards come together, and then they can still follow the rule of not being able to attack across lanes. Cool. So, I think that's it. I think that's good. I have cold pizza to eat. Yum. And in that way, feeling good about it. Yes, sir. It's good. Wait, where'd I go? I'm just hiding. Just hiding. Just hiding. Just playing around. Hey, are you still lurking? Is anyone lurking in here? No? No? Okay. That's all right. That's okay. I'm just playing around. Just goofing off. Doing tricks. Doing my own thing. Running around. Brum. Playing. Goofing off. Okay. In that way, I think it's good. I'm just a clown to you. I'm just a clown for all people who want to come look at this. And if you want to see me nerd out as well and play with code, I can nerd out. I could do that. Okay. I think that's good. I think I've done my part. For nerds. Huzzah. Yay. Um, that's all for now. I'm going to go eat pizza. Have an excellent day.